Welcome back. Today, your commands reach the shell. You ask OpenCode to run something. By the end of this lesson, you will have asked OpenCode to actually run something, not just think, not just propose, but execute. You will run the /review command you built against a real file and read the genuine output it produces. And you will understand why this step, hands on the keyboard, is where every command you build finally comes alive. OpenCode can do something a plain chat window never could. It can run commands on your computer. When you ask it to run something, it does not just talk about doing it. It actually reaches into your shell, executes the command, reads what comes back, and then explains it to you in plain English. That ability to act, to truly run things, is what makes an agent different from a chatbot. What does run actually mean here? It means OpenCode takes a command, something you typed, or something it decided to do, and it executes the command on your machine. The shell is the part of your computer that carries out instructions. When OpenCode runs a command, the shell does the real work, and the result comes back for OpenCode to read and for you to see. Why does running matter so much? Because building a command is only half the job. The other half is testing it, and testing means actually running it. You designed /review in plan mode. You built it. Now you need to find out whether it actually works the way you hoped. The only honest way to know is to run it against a real file and watch what happens. Here is how you ask. You type, run /review against this file and show me the output. That is the whole request. Notice how natural it sounds. You are not writing code, you are just asking in plain English. OpenCode reads your request, finds your save /review command, and runs it right then and there. No ceremony. Just ask, and it happens. What happens next is genuinely useful to understand. OpenCode executes the command, which means it opens the file you pointed it at, reads through the code, and thinks about it the way your careful reviewer would. Then it writes back its feedback, the bugs it noticed, the names that seem unclear, anything important that seems missing. All of that happens because you asked it to run. This is the moment you have been building toward. You are finally testing /review for real. Everything before now was planning and building, important work, but still preparation. Now the command runs, it does something, and you get to see whether the idea you had in plan mode actually holds up in practice. This is where hope meets reality, and it is exactly where good commands get proven. And here is the kind of output you might see. OpenCode ran /review. It found two things worth a look, a name that is unclear, and a missing error check. Then it offers what it would change. This is real, specific feedback on your actual code, produced by a command you designed yourself. It is not generic advice. It is aimed straight at the file you chose. You are not limited to your own commands, either. You can ask OpenCode to run ordinary shell commands too. Try asking it to run the list command and explain what you see. OpenCode runs it, looks at what comes back, and tells you, in plain words, what those files and folders mean. It turns raw shell output into something you can actually understand, which is a quiet superpower. Now, a word about safety, because it matters. OpenCode will not blindly run anything dangerous. If a command might delete files, overwrite something important, or cause real harm, OpenCode pauses and asks you first. It shows you exactly what it is about to do, and it waits for your yes. You are never ambushed by a destructive command. The guardrails are there, and they work. Once the command runs, the most important thing you can do is slow down and read the output carefully. Do not skim it. When /review runs against your file, read every line of feedback it gives you. Does it match what you expected? Did it catch something you missed? Did it miss something obvious? Reading the output honestly is how you learn whether your command is actually useful. And here is something to embrace rather than fear. Sometimes the output will surprise you. Maybe /review found a bug you did not know was there. Maybe it misunderstood something, and the feedback is off. Either way, that surprise is the entire value of testing. A command that only tells you what you already expected has not taught you anything. The surprises are where the real learning lives, so the whole thing becomes a loop. You run the command. You read what it produced, honestly and carefully. And then you adjust, you tweak the command, or you fix the code it pointed at, and you run it again. Run, read, adjust. Run, read, adjust. That loop is the heartbeat of working with any tool you build. You do not get it perfect on the first try. You improve it, one honest run at a time. You can test your other commands the same way. If you built /interview, run it and answer the questions it asks you. See whether the questions feel useful, whether they cover the right ground, whether they push you to think. Every command you build deserves this same honest testing. Run it for real, pay attention to what comes back, and let what you see guide your next improvement. Here is the thing to appreciate. The shell is powerful. Running commands, really executing them, not just talking about them, is where agents earn their keep. A chatbot can describe what a command might do. An agent actually does it. That difference is enormous. When OpenCode runs something for you, reads the result, and explains it, you are seeing the real advantage of working with an agent. There is something deeply satisfying about this moment. Your commands are alive now. They are not just ideas on paper or proposals waiting for a yes. They run, they produce real output, and they genuinely help you. The thing you sketched in plan mode and built in build mode has become a working tool. That is the payoff of every step that came before, and it is worth pausing to feel it. And now you can see the full shape of the work. You design a command in plan mode, thinking it through carefully, without changing anything. You build it in build mode, making it real and saving it. And then you run it, testing it against reality and learning from what comes back. Design, build, run. 3 steps, every time. And the running step is the one that closes the loop and tells you the truth. Let me recap the whole lesson. You can ask OpenCode to run something, your own commands or ordinary shell commands, and it will actually execute them. It keeps you safe by asking before anything dangerous. And the real value is in the loop. Run the command, read the output honestly, and adjust based on what you learned. That loop is how every command you build gets better over time. Now it is your turn. Pick a file, any small file will do, and ask OpenCode to run/review against it. Watch the output appear. Read it slowly. Then make one small change, either to the file or to the command, and run it again. Feel the loop for yourself. You do not need to get anything perfect. You just need to run it once, honestly, and see what comes back. Here are a few words worth holding on to. Run, to actually execute a command on your computer. Execute, the shell carrying out the instruction, doing the real work. Output, whatever the command produces and sends back to you. And shell, the part of your computer that runs commands and hands you the results. Keep these 4 close, because they describe what is happening every time you ask OpenCode to act. This is the payoff. Your commands work. You designed them, you built them, and now you have run them and seen real output come back. That is not a small thing, it is the entire point of everything you have learned so far. You can ask OpenCode to do something, and it does it, and it shows you the result. Hold on to that feeling. You have earned it, and there is much more ahead. Think of running a command as releasing energy, something held back, now set in motion, finally free to do its work. A chatbot describes. An agent acts. That difference, between talking about something and truly doing it, is everything. Your command sparks to life the moment it runs. An idea becomes an action. A design becomes a tool you can actually use. Gears turning, quietly and precisely. Behind the simple words you typed, real machinery is doing real work on your behalf. Energy, directed and purposeful. That is what running a command really is, your intent, flowing into the machine, and coming back as something useful. Thanks for spending this time with me. Next, you learn to brief OpenCode like a junior developer. That is a wrap. If you enjoyed it, hit like and subscribe for more.